Hey, hello guys. Hey, hello guys. Welcome to this data analysis and visualization training in Power BI. So last time when we connected, we have learned how to start Power BI desktop, how to start working on Power BI desktop, and uh, we started to we created a small report. We took the data from an Excel sheet and we jumped into the Power BI services. So as for our today's agenda of this session, we'll learn about how to get data from different sources. Like for example, we'll start from how to get data from an Access database. We can do some wrangling on that database, and then we'll jump into how to start getting the data from files in a folder where we have multiple files, multiple Excel sheets, or maybe multiple files in a single folder. Okay, we'll see how to get data from SQL server. Okay, and we will see how to get data from JSON files and different options as well. Okay, so let's not take too much time. Let's jump in here and let's do one thing. Let's create a new report so that we can start from beginning. The last report was just for a demo purpose, so that's fine. Let's start from a new report. And first, we need to be very clear that how to take the data from different places to wrangle it and then profile the data and clean up the data. Okay, so just wait for it to be opened up in a moment. Yeah. So it's done now. So I'm closing it and I'm clicking on get data. Okay. So if we click on get data, we click on more options. We wait for it to open. Yeah, just go to database. And first of all, as I told, we are going to connect with the Access database. So in the Access database, it is official Microsoft given database for Power BI training purpose. So we can connect it very simply. And this is a this is a database for sales analysis from a retail company. Okay, so we can see here we have some dim tables and we have a sales fact table. So what I'm interested in to have a look on this BI date preview first of all, so I can have a preview of my data of my columns. Okay, similarly I can have preview of the other tables as well. So what I'm interested in right now is in this date table, geo table, manufacturer table, product table, and the sales fact table. I'm leaving for the sentiment table because it is not required in this analysis for right now. Okay, so as I told last time as well, that last time for the example, we have directly click on the load button. This time we will click on the transform data button. So if we click on the transform data button, it will load the data and it will open up the Power Query editor. So here the Power Query is the place where we do all the data transformation and cleanup process. So we will have a look on all the operations in this Power Query editor first of all. Okay, so if you go to the first table, that is you can see in this Power Query editor section, we have the query section where all the tables have been loaded as a data set. Okay, so we can have a look first of all on the date table. So first, what I'm going to do is renaming the table. So I'm just renaming it with this dim date table as a date dimension table. Okay, so if we have a look on the columns one by one. So let's understand this that what transformations are required to work on the data set. First thing, if I look on my first column itself, it's a date column where it's showing me the sales date. Okay, so in down below we can see that we have total 7 columns with 199 plus rows. Okay, so if we see this date column, the first problem which I have with this date column is the data type of the column. Okay, so data type, if we see on here, the data type of this column is in ABC. That means it is into text format. And working on a date, it cannot be into a text format. Will not be able to use this in the date slicers and anywhere. The date timeliners. It first has to be converted into a date data type. What I'll do is I'll convert it into a date data type. You can convert it from here as well, or maybe you can go to transform section. Oh, sorry, you can go to the home menu bar itself, and you can find the data type option here as well. You can check it from here, and you can convert it into the date data type, or the simple option is you can just click here directly and convert it into the date. So done. One more very important point here: whatever actions we are going to perform, they'll be recorded here into the applied steps section. If you need to undo any operation, you just need to click on the cross mark of that button. That operation will be undo. So if I just demonstrate it here only. If I click on this cross mark, the action which we have performed, it has been undo, and now we have to convert it again. Okay, so whenever you need to clean up any action, any performed action, you can just click on the cross mark on that particular action. That's fine. Now we move to the next column, that is month number. I'm okay with this, no problem. If we go to month name as well, I'm okay. If we go to month ID as well, that's okay, but we don't need this month ID. So how to handle this? Maybe when this is called the data profiling section, where we need to remove the unwanted columns. Okay, I don't think so this column is required in our reporting purpose. So what we need to do is we need to remove this column. So for removing the column, what you can do is just right click on this column name and see the two options here, remove and remove other column. So I want to remove this column. In some cases, if we need to remove multiple columns, then what you just need to do is you just select this column, and maybe you need to remove this column or some other columns as well. So select the columns, right click and click on remove columns. It will remove all the selected columns. One more very important thing here, if I need to keep this column and remove the other columns, so I can select on this, right click on this column name and click on remove other column. So what it will do, it will remove all the other columns and will keep this single column only. Yes, I don't want this, so I'll undo this and I'll come back here and I'll remove this particular column. It is not required, so I'm going to remove it. The next one is the next column is month, where we have the January and we have the quarter given and the year value. That's fine, but here I have a problem with this month column. What exactly it is? We already have the month name column given here, so it is not required as well. So I'm going to remove this column as well. It is not required anywhere. Okay. Now, if we are talking about the date data type, if we are talking about the column which is related to a date data type, so let's do some other operations as well. If you need to add some extra column, maybe my team asked me to show me the performance of sales weekly. Okay, they want to see weekly sales. They want to see full month name. Okay, we want to see display the full month name. Maybe start of the month, end of the month, number of days in a month. So how can we get those columns? So I have a very important look here. You just need to jump up to add column section, go to the date data type. It must be into the date data type, this column, then only it will work. Go here. So let's see the options only, all the options here. If we go to year, we already have the year column, so it is not required here. In case if this column is required, the year column, what you can do is you go to year, this date option, go to year column and click on the year column. So it will fetch a separate year column for you. It is not required right now, so I'm removing it. Similarly, we can have the start date of the year and the end date of the year. The month name, it's a if we want the numbers of the month in numbers, which we already have here, the month number, so we can get this from here. Start date of the month, end date of the month, number of days in a month. Sometimes it is required for an analysis. So if required the number of days in a month, just click on it, and the name of month. If you click on this name of month, you will get the full spelling of the name of the month. So I don't want this column anymore. I'll remove this and I'll get the month name properly. Okay, and the data type is absolutely correct. So no problem with this. So let's have a look on some other options as well. The quarter related information, the quarter of year, we already have the quarter information here. So I don't need to click on it. Start of quarter, end of quarter, the dates it will give. The week, it's a very, very important option. The week of year, week of month. So if we need to do analysis weekly, then we will go for this option. Okay, so maybe we need monthly analysis by the weekly analysis by month. So click on week of month. It will give the week where the date is falling in which week number that particular month. So we can get this information here from here. Sometimes a very, very important field. Okay. Apart from that, we can get the day name as well. So let's say, suppose I want to see how many sales, particular number of sales has been done on this particular day. Let's like Friday or Thursday or Saturday, whatever. So what you can do is just go on day and click on name of day. It will give you the name of day when this particular date is falling in. Okay, so that makes it very, very simple for the team to make decisions where the particular sales, the big sales are happening. So what decision they should take on that particular day. Okay, so the other left part in the day is like the day of week, which day of particular of the week. If I click on this day, it will give me the number, the day number of the week. Okay, but I don't need it here, so I'm removing it. And if I go back here and click on this options to check out what other are there, the day of year, it will give me the number of the day number when this particular day is occurring in a year. Okay, start of the day, end of the day. We click on this, it will give me the dates when the date is starting. So definitely, it is starting on the same day. I don't want this particular column here. I'm removing it from here as well. And end of the day. What we needed, we have already taken the name of the day, so I'm fine with this now. Okay, so these operations very important when you particularly work on a date column. Okay, now if we go to the geo table, the next table which is geo related to my geographical information. First of all, I'll rename it as dim geo. I'm done with this. So if we see the zip code, that's fine, no problem with that. We have a look on the city also, that also look fine. The data type is also okay. The state column is also okay. The region, in the region we have some issue. We have some the null problems. We need to handle the null issues. We need to remove the null values. So how to do that? So in that case, what you will do is you will go to the transform option. There is an option of replace values. Can you see this? Replace values option. So click on this, replace values. Okay. And then you need to find the null and you can replace it with any other values. Right now I'm replacing it with others. Okay. So it will handle up all the, it will remove all the null values, replace all the null values with others values. Okay. So the next one is district. It's okay. And the country is also fine. I don't have any problem with this. That looks okay to me. The next one is manufacturer table where we have the manufacturer ID. First of all, once again, I need to check for the data type because it's in decimal number. It is not required. It must be into whole number. So I convert it into a whole number and the manufacturer name looks okay. No issue. Product table we just need to rename this as dim manufacturer. It's done. And now we move to the product table. So let's first rename this as dim product. Okay. If we have the look on the product ID column, it is into the it's into the text format. Okay. We can leave this column. Don't convert the data type into numeric column as well. Why? Because we should convert the data type to numerical column only when we need to have some calculations on that column. If we need some data, some calculations to be auto performed on this column, then we should convert it into a whole number. I don't want it. Okay. I don't want to use this column into any calculation. This will give a context to my my data. That's fine. But I don't want to use it any calculation. So I can leave it into text, no problem from that. The next column which I have is a product ID, the product name. So that looks okay. Category also looks okay. And segment fine. The manufacturer ID, it must be into numerical whole number. So that's converted. And we have the manufacturer column that is also fine. But one point here, can we have a look here into this manufacturer column? We have like something, the name of manufacturer, and this product column, we have something name of manufacturer and then some product code, something related to product code, MA01, MA02, something like that. So I don't want this name of manufacturer to be repeated here. Okay. So what I need to do is I need to split this column, the name of manufacturer to be separated by the product code. So how to do that? Let's understand that. So for that, what you just need to do is you need to go onto your home option and then click on split column. Or what you can do is you can right click here itself and click on split column. Okay. So there are number of options how to split the column based on which criteria you need to split the column, either by a delimiter, by number of characters. Yes, I want here by a delimiter. So click on by delimiter. Which delimiter is there into your into this name? I can see here it is the two words are getting separated by a space. So we have a list of delimiters here. Either it can be a space, a tab, a semicolon, equals, whatever. So right now it's a space. So I'm using a space. Yes, on the each occurrence of the delimiter, and that's fine. Leave all the other options right now. Click on OK. Will create two separate columns here. One is my product code, and the other one is the manufacturer name, and the other one is the product code. We don't need this because we already have a separate manufacturer column here, so it is not required. So we'll first of all go and remove this unwanted column, and we'll rename this column as a product code. We are done with this. We are okay with fine with this. So that looks okay to me. And the next one is the sales fact table. This is the table where you will do all your calculations. So yes, the product ID column, no problem with this. Date column, it must be into the date data type. So click on the here and convert it into a date. The zip code, it's okay, no problem with this column. The number of units, it must be into whole number, that's okay. And the revenue is also fine, it's into the decimal number. No issue with this column, with these columns. So we are fine with this. And now what we just need to do is, we first need to rename this table as the fact sales table. Okay. And now what we need to do is, sometimes for this demo right now, initially what we are doing is we are having 5 tables only. But maybe possible in your data set, when you are combining data set from multiple sources, you may have n number of tables. Okay, so sometimes it is very difficult to see the tables into like this into the query section. So what you just need to do is you need to create the query groups. It makes it very easy to organize the queries. Okay, what you can do is here is just right click on the blank space on this query section, go here and click on new query. Oh, sorry, new group. First group I'll create as my dimension tables. Okay. The second group I'll create as the fact table. Okay, so what I'll do is I need to move all my dimension table into this particular group. So what you can do is just drag and drop inside this group, or you can right click on the table name as well and click on move to group the dimension table. Select the group in which you want to move it. Same here, I want to move this to the dimension table group, and this table I want to move it to the fact table. So now it looks much organized in a much better way. Okay. So for initially, we are done with the transformations. We'll talk about all these transformations in the coming up sections where we need to work on all the transforms. We'll talk about all these transformations part, okay, and the add column part as well. Okay. But right now we are more focusing on taking data from multiple sources and combining them into a single source. Okay. So what we can do is, if you're done with the operations here into the query editor, what you can do is you can click on close and apply. What it will do, it will start loading your changes and start loading the data into Power BI. It may take some time because the tables are a little bit higher in the with the number of records. So we just need to wait for 1 or 2 minutes. Okay. Sometime it will check for the model as well. It will check for the connections between the table as well. So it may take 2-3 minutes of time. Okay. So meanwhile it is loading up, we till then what we can do is we can open up, go back to our any of our previous data set. Okay, for example here. So what I want is, meanwhile this is loading, I want to show you how to get the data from a folder. So let's check inside this folder only. Let it to be loaded. It will be much better to load it here itself. So let's wait for 1-2 minutes. I hope you will be clear. What I'll do, I'll share the this database in the description link, so you can use the same file. You can download it and you can use it for the practice purpose. Okay. So it is just. Okay. Meanwhile, let me show you while this is loading. Let me show you the data set which we need to import the file from folder. So we have a data set folder here where we have 4 sales files, where we have the 4 different sales files. They are all into Excel format. and we need to load the data. We need to import all these files inside a folder into a single go. Okay, inside Power BI into our data set. So that's what our next agenda is. We'll import this data from this folder, from all the files of this folder into our uh, into Power BI data set. Okay, and we'll merge them and we'll look how to append them into a single sheet. Okay, how to append multiple tables and multiple files into a single table. So I think it has done now. That's wonderful. You can see that the data has been loaded into the field section. All the tables have been loaded properly. Geo as well. Okay, and here as well. So now, if we see this data tab, the last time we were discussing here. So now we can see the data has been loaded into the. We can see have a look on the data here into the uh, data option. Okay, and the last one is the modeling where we can see the relationship between the tables. It may be connected automatically, or we need to create them manually as well. So once we will jump up to the data modeling, that time we will talk about how to create this proper data model. Okay, so if we have a look right now, it is already having a relationship for the three tables, that is manufacturer, product, and the sales fact. But the other tables are not connected, and we will create the relationship between them manually. Okay, so if we see here, now what I want is I want to combine the data from other sources as well. Okay, so what I can do is I can go here as well. I can start importing data from a more. Click on more. Okay, and click on file. There is an option of folder here. Just click on connect. Okay, browse the path. Where is the folder from where you need to import the data? This is my dataset folder. Click OK. It will show you the name of files which are required, which are there into this dataset. What I will do, yes, I want to use these files. So click on transform data. Okay. So once again, our Power Query editor window will open up. So inside this, what I want is I want the content of the file that is in binary format. I don't want these other extra columns which are giving information about the file, like the name of file, the extension of the file, date it has been accessed, modified, and created. I don't want this. Don't want this information, the path of the file. What I just want is I want the content of the files. What I'll do is I'll select this column, right click, and remove other columns. These are not required for this option right now. So we have loaded data from Power BI desktop, or if you need to load data directly into Power Query as well, let me show you that option as well. What you can do just here itself as well, click on new source. The same option, we can do it here as well. Click on more, go to file, select the folder, same process once again, connect. It will ask you for the folder path, give the folder path, okay, and then same process once again. I'm not going to repeat it, I'm canceling it, but I'm just telling you can do it here as well. So now the four tables are there, the four files of Excel which we wanted, all are here. Now what we just need to do is we need to combine these files into a single file and load it here into the data set. So click on this arrow button of this combine files, will be done. And it was just giving you a preview based on your first file. Yes, I am okay with that. Hit okay. Done. Now you can see here, it has created the file, a table here with the name of dataset, which is combining data from all the files from a folder. So what we have learned here is to combine the data from multiple files into a single, taking the data from multiple files from a folder and combining them into a single file. Okay, so that's how we connect to files in a folder. So now what I mean, if I have a look on my fact sales table, I have product ID, date, zip, units, and revenue here. And if I have a look on the data set, I have product ID, date, zip, units, revenue, same columns, but one extra column of country here. That's fine. So what I want is I want to combine this data set, what we have imported here, into my fact sales table itself. So how I will do that? Very important operation. Go to the transform. Sorry, go to home only. No problem. and here we'll find the append queries option. So click on this new option. A very, very important step to understand when you are appending data from one table to another table. Okay, at the end of another table. So what I want, if I click on this drop down arrow, it gives me two options: append queries, append the data from this data set into fact table, in the fact sales table itself, or you want to create a new query. No, I want to append it here only. So what I'll do is I'll click on append queries. It will open up a new wizard. Are we appending two tables or more than two tables? No. Right now we are appending two tables only. So right now we are saying that fact sales table is our main table. Append the data from data set here into this table itself. What I'll do, which table to append? I want to append this data set table. Hit OK. Now what has done into the fact sales table itself, it has appended data from our data set table. Okay, we have the same columns. The data from this data set table has been appended here. And now we have one that extra column as well, which was there into this table of dataset, which is country column. We got this option here as well. For initial rows of fact sales, it is showing nulls. We can have a look here, and for the other countries, it will show me the name of the countries. That's fine. We have already seen how to handle the null problems, so we can handle this one as well. So there is no issue with that. What I can do is I can just go here and say that okay, fine, I'm okay with this. Replace the value of replace the null values with USA. Okay, we'll see the conditions how later on, that how we'll replace the values based on a condition. But right now, for simplicity purpose, I'm just replacing it from null to USA. That's fine. Replaced value done, and we have combined the data from multiple files from a folder into our already existing data set. Okay. So till here, into this ETL process, into this get data process, we have discussed how to take the data from Access database and the files into a single folder, from a single folder. In next